From pixelated players on the Sega Dreamcast, to lifelike graphics on the PlayStation 5, the NBA 2K series has come a long way. Every year, 2K has pushed the limits of basketball gaming, new graphics, smoother gameplay, and iconic cover stars that defined each era. Hi, welcome to Z's Story. In this video, we're taking a look back at how NBA 2K evolved through the years, from its very first release in 1999, all the way to the modern-day 2K26. So grab your controller, sit back, and let's jump into the evolution of NBA 2K. NBA 2K4 ESPN NBA Basketball. NBA 2K4 marked a huge leap in presentation. Partnering with ESPN, 2K made the game feel like a live TV broadcast, with realistic commentary, new camera angles, and smoother gameplay. It also introduced 24/7 mode, where players could create their own baller, travel to courts, and build reputation, the early roots of today's My Career mode. Fun fact, the 24/7 mode was the very first, story-like, journey in the NBA 2K franchise, long before My Career was officially introduced. After ESPN-style realism took over in 2K4, 2K Sports decided to step up the competition, launching a new era with NBA 2K5. NBA 2K5 was the first title officially released under 2K Sports. The gameplay became tighter, defensive controls improved, and the ESPN presentation reached a new level. This version helped define the simulation-style basketball that 2K is now famous for. Fun fact, it launched at just $19.99, a bold move that undercut NBA Live and brought massive attention to the 2K series. The 2K Sports brand was born, and it only got better from here, with 2K6 introducing new features that changed basketball gaming forever. The first NBA 2K released for Xbox 360, featuring high-definition graphics for the first time. The game improved player models, crowd reactions, and physics. Commentary and presentation reached broadcast-level realism. Fun fact, Shaquille O'Neal became the first player to appear on the cover 2 years in a row, 2K6 and 2K7. The jump to HD was massive, but the real revolution was about to begin, with online play and smoother motion coming to the court. NBA 2K7 refined animations and introduced signature style, letting players move, shoot, and dribble like their real-life counterparts for the first time. Fun fact, 2K7's motion capture sessions included real NBA players, setting a standard for realism that continues today. From signature moves to signature style, 2K was now unstoppable. And in 2K8, it would get even smoother. This version introduced improved defense AI and more realistic rebounds. The lock-on defense feature allowed players to stay in front of their opponents effectively. Fun fact, 2K8 introduced the Slam Dunk Contest, a fan-favorite minigame for offline players. With dunk contests and smoother gameplay, 2K8 set the tone. But in 2K9, new stars took the spotlight. NBA 2K9 brought polished graphics and better crowd atmosphere. It also made defensive rotation smarter and offense smoother. Fun fact, Kevin Garnett was the first player to yell, "Anything is possible," on the cover, right after winning the 2008 NBA title. And speaking of possible, 2K10 would make one of the biggest leaps in the franchise. This is where it all changed. My Player mode debuted, letting fans create their own player and climb from rookie to legend. Fun fact, Kobe Bryant was the cover athlete, and his legacy inspired 2K's storytelling for years. 2K10 gave us My Player, but 2K11 gave us something even bigger, Michael Jordan. Considered one of the greatest sports games ever made, Michael Jordan's Jordan Challenge mode let players relive his most iconic moments. Fun fact, 2K11 was the first sports game to feature a retired legend as the main star. After Flying with Jordan, 2K12 brought even more legends back to the court. Added the NBA's Greatest mode featuring 15 historic players, from Magic Johnson to Larry Bird, playable in their era-specific visuals and rules. Fun fact, it was the first 2K game to feature multiple cover athletes. Legends were back, but now it was time for a modern king, LeBron James in 2K13. Executive produced by Jay-Z, NBA 2K13 brought style and swagger. It improved gameplay physics, and introduced the right stick dribble system for more control. Fun fact, Jay-Z personally picked the soundtrack, featuring over 20 of his favorite tracks. But 2K14 wasn't just about music, it was about a whole new generation. Launched alongside PS4 and Xbox One, NBA 2K14 introduced Eco-Motion, a new engine for lifelike player emotions, movement, and crowd energy. Fun fact, LeBron James was the cover star, and he also curated the game's soundtrack. With next-gen power, 2K was unstoppable. Then 2K15 came with My Park and new ways to play online. Added face scanning, My Park improvements, and upgraded AI. Players could now literally scan their faces into the game using a camera. Fun fact, the game's face scan tech was both cool and meme-worthy. Early versions created some hilarious player faces. After that hilarious start, 2K16 took a cinematic approach, and turned My Career into a movie. Directed by Spike Lee, My Career became a full narrative experience. It featured 3 cover stars, Stephen Curry, James Harden, and Anthony Davis. Fun fact, it was the first 2K with a storyline written by an Oscar-winning director. The story mode blew up, but 2K17 focused on making gameplay smoother and sharper. Introduced My League Online, and improved shot mechanics. It's still considered one of the most balanced 2K games ever made. Fun fact, Kobe Bryant appeared on the Legend Edition after his retirement. 2K17 was clean, but 2K18 changed everything, especially the neighborhood. This version merged online and offline worlds with the neighborhood, letting players walk around a shared hub to play, shop, or practice. Fun fact, it introduced VC-heavy microtransactions, sparking debate, but it also shaped 2K's online future. After introducing the neighborhood, 2K19 made it even more connected. Enhanced My Career storytelling and refined online gameplay. Defense, shot timing, and stamina systems were all upgraded. Fun fact, Giannis Antetokounmpo became the first international player on a standard 2K cover. Then came 2K20, a year that would change the series forever. 2K20 introduced WNBA teams and players for the first time, plus a tribute to Kobe Bryant. My Career featured a Hollywood-style story directed by Sheldon Candies. Fun fact, it was the first 2K to feature female athletes, a huge milestone. After breaking barriers, 2K21 faced a whole new challenge, next-gen hardware. Released for both PS4 and PS5, it featured new physics, visuals, and gameplay engine upgrades for next-gen systems. Fun fact, it had 2 cover stars, Damian Lillard current gen and Zion Williamson next gen. With next gen in play, 2K22 stepped up its online world. Brought more realistic gameplay, revamped defense, and reworked shooting mechanics. The city replaced the neighborhood, offering a massive open-world hub. Fun fact, Candace Parker became the first woman ever featured on an NBA 2K cover. The city was born, and 2K23 would honor a legend, the Mamba himself. Dedicated to Kobe Bryant, 2K23 added Mamba moments, allowing players to recreate his greatest performances. The gameplay became more skill-based with advanced shooting and defense systems. Fun fact, it also brought back the Jordan Challenge, fully remastered from 2K11. And speaking of legends, 2K24 took that Mamba energy even further. Once again honoring Kobe, 2K24 introduced Pro Play, a system using real NBA footage to create lifelike animations. It was one of the biggest leaps in realism yet. Fun fact, 2K24 marked 25 years of the franchise, celebrating a quarter-century of basketball gaming history. After 25 years of greatness, 2K25 was ready to redefine the game once more. Built on Pro Play Plus, NBA 2K25 added over 9,000 new animations, refined shooting mechanics, and smarter defense. It featured Victor Wembanyama as the cover star, marking the start of a new era. Fun fact, Wembanyama became the first rookie since LeBron in 2K4 to appear as a cover athlete. So, what could possibly come next after all that progress? Let's talk about NBA 2K26. NBA 2K26 more enhanced Pro Play Plus even more with better crowd animations, realistic lighting, and new crossplay features. 2K26 might also expand my team to mix NBA and WNBA stars, a first in the series. Fun fact, developers teased a dynamic motion engine that could make dribbling and physics completely lifelike. Man, what a journey. From 2K4's ESPN style to 2K26's next-gen realism, the NBA 2K series never stops evolving. Tell me down below, which 2K gave you the best memories? Hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next evolution video.